Now, Ekiti State APC has officially affirmed Governor Biodun Oyebanji as its consensus candidate for the 2026 governorship election at a special nomination congress chaired by Kogi State Governor Usman Ododo. All 885 APC delegates unanimously adopted Oyebanji. Now, the event began with the formal withdrawal of Atinuke Omolayo, clearing the way for a unified candidate, making Ekiti the first state in the country to hold this special affirmation process.
It's good what we do to the benefit of Ekiti people,
yes.
And this is better than my personal ambition. I will give you my maximum support to ensure the briefing for our party in the coming election.
Hereby move that this Ekiti State Special Nomination Congress of 2025 do ratify His Excellency Governor Biodun Oyebanji as the consensus gubernatorial candidate of the All Progressives Congress for the 2026 Ekiti State Governorship election. I so move.
A great place of understanding and here you can see leadership, you can see reality, you can see stakeholder, you can see law, you can see sincere commitment. I thank you so much.
The endorsement today is an affirmation of the wishes of thousands of our members who made similar decisions in the wards and local government congresses that held 2 days ago. I deeply appreciate your decision and hereby accept this honor to fly the flag of our great party in the governorship election that comes next year.
Well, for more on the political development in Ekiti State, southwest Nigeria, we're now joined by His Excellency Governor Biodun Oyebanji of Ekiti State. Mr. Governor, thank you so much for being on Newsnight.
Good evening.
So, 885 delegates affirmed you today as the consensus candidate of your party. But questions are arising. Can it truly be called a consensus when not everybody was on board? We have aspirants who say they were unfairly screened out to favor you. How do you react to that?
Well, this is a democratic process, and in democracies, there are different contentions. But as a Democrat and someone who believes in party supremacy, one has to submit to the decision of the party. The party, in its wisdom, wrote out the guidelines for aspirants to follow with respect to the governorship aspirations. So we submitted ourselves to the rules and regulations of the party. And the party has the right to also insist compliance with set rules and regulations. So at the end of the screening, 2 of us were screened and affirmed to contest, eligible to contest for the governorship election. One of the contestants, in our own wisdom, withdrew from the contest, leaving only me in the race. But the party also, insisting on compliance with the rules and regulations, also asked to put this to the delegates to affirm whether the consensus is acceptable to them or not. So today's activities is just to get the concurrence of the 885 delegates. And they all spoke in unison that the decision of a consensus arrangement is acceptable to all of them. That is democracy. The party guidelines, our rules and regulations, and electoral acts agree that consensus is one of the options for the elections or selections of party candidates for elections in the APC. So there are 3 options. It's either direct primary, indirect primary, or consensus. So there's nothing wrong with the consensus arrangement. The party must be credited and praised for this innovation, which has removed violence and rancor among rank and file.
Very interesting, Your Excellency. I mean, though some would say that this is not necessarily a consensus, but an imposition. Now, not much really has been seen of you in the last 3 years. It's interesting to actually have you on Arise tonight and for Nigerians to actually hear you. And I'm wondering, this low key or low profile, if you like, over the last 3 years, is it a deliberate strategy of yours, and how has it helped your government in the last 3 years in Ekiti State? And also you engaged past governors, political stakeholders, even members of the opposition have been endorsing you. I mean, this is an interesting strategy. How deliberate has this been, and how has it really paid off?
Well, thank you so much. Low profile is deliberate, because the contract I signed with the Ekiti people is to serve them. And in the last 3 years, we have done that conscientiously, and the people are happy with us. And this is the reason why all the former leaders, both within the party and in opposition, have been endorsing us. My belief strongly is that once you sign a contract with the people, you have to do everything to serve them. And we have done that in Ekiti State. Like people used to say, the taste of the pudding is in the eating. If you come to Ekiti, you will see what we are doing, and I invite you to come here to talk to Ekiti people and the residents of Ekiti State to appraise their view on our government in the last 3 years. We are guided with our 6 pillars of administrations, and we have, to the best of our ability, with the support of Mr. President, been able to deliver on our promises. What happened in Ekiti State today has never happened in its 29 years of history as a state, and that speaks to something.
What does it speak to, really, in essence? I mean, you've been able to get everyone on the same boat. What does it really speak to?
Well, it speaks to acceptability. It speaks to the fact that the people are happy with us. It speaks to the fact that the people want the continuation of what we are doing. Because there is a consensus among everybody in Ekiti State that what has been responsible for a slow pace of development is the inability of a government to succeed itself. And that things will be broken by June next year, by God's grace.
Indeed, it truly stands out, Mr. Governor. Your vision talks about transformed people and communities. And I just wanted to bring out some figures for you. In the latest National Bureau of Statistics figures, your state still accounts for one of the highest, if not the highest, inflation rates. Your state also is still largely non-industrial, and you have the lowest job participation rates in the country. I mean, the highest non-job participation rates in the country, despite the increased federal government revenue in Ekiti State. So when you talk about transformed people and communities, how are you dealing with all of these pressures?
Well, thank you so much. The assertion that the rate has the highest food inflation in the country is not correct, because when I saw the figure, I asked for the numbers and I looked at them closely. If you look at the prices of food itself, we have the lowest food inflation in the Southwest. But the non-food elements, like housing, like beverages, things that are not produced in these states, yes, is high. And the reason for that is that we don't have major off-taker in these states. So most of these items are brought in from other states, from Lagos, from Ibadan. So when you have the cost of transportations, it goes up. So, and that is a challenge to us, that also we have to create an ecosystem that allows big multinationals to have stations in Ekiti State, so that they don't have to go to other states to get these things. And we are doing that. But government is a concern, and all these problems cannot be solved in one day. We have also tried as much as possible to put in an ecosystem that allows our people to plan their life. The state is peaceful. Industrialization is not a one-off thing. There are building blocks that we have to put in place, and we are doing that. And part of what we have done is also to create access to the state. The airport is completed, is functioning. We have also gotten an approval for a commercial flight. So once we create access to the state, I believe that most of this problem will be solved, because access is key Infrastructure like road, like electricity, like cheap labor, they are also key. And before the end of the year, our EKZ will also be onboarded. So all these are attempts to ensure that we industrialize the state, but it's not going to be a one-off, it's not going to happen overnight. So it's a process, and we have started that process. With God on our side, we will get there.
No, you told your people that, security will be your priority. You've been there for 3 years now. Is that to say that security has not necessarily been the priority for you in the last 3 years? And what exactly do you plan to do differently on the security front and, of course, other areas where you may have experienced, challenges as governor in the last 3 years?
Well, if you look at numbers of crimes across the country and all the data that have been released, Ekiti State is one of the most secure states in the country. But that does not mean that we need to rest on our horse. We continue to, because we still have pockets of criminalities and violence and attack on soft targets in the state. So in as much as we are happy, we are okay with where we are, but we can't be comfortable. So we continue to ensure that the state is secured, because it's only in an atmosphere of peace that can have development. So there's no way we'll be satisfied with the security situation in the state. We will continue to ensure that we improve on that. And I use this medium to thank all our security operatives in the state, both formal and informal, for their cooperation at securing the state. With respect to our people, our mantra is shared prosperity. We want to create an ecosystem where everybody will prosper, irrespective of their social status in the state. And we are doing that through our 6 pillars, either through agric, either through an investment in informal sectors, creating access to cheap capitals, merging our informal sector into cooperative societies, and teaching them financial literacy. So all these are things that are ongoing presently in Ekiti State.
Governor, just before we let you go, may I just return to politics a bit in Ekiti State? Are you extending the olive branch to an aspirant, Kayode Ojo, whose disqualification led to protests, including in the nation's capital, by those who refer to themselves as APC women? He was conspicuously absent at your affirmation today. Also, when you talk about security, we've just seen recently, even though the election is months away, the opposition ADC is alleging that your party is using violence and thugs to intimidate opponents ahead of the election in 2026. You have condemned that incident, but beyond condemnation, what is your government doing to ensure that there is protection and equal protection for all in Ekiti State?
Well, before the ADC issue, the state had been peaceful. There had been no attack on any opposition element in the state. Like you said, I once again condemn that action. But it's not true that my party members were responsible for that incident. But be that as it may, the CP has assured me that investigation is ongoing, and I've told them that whoever is responsible must be brought to justice. I condemn it in its entirety. That is not our character in Ekiti State. We are Democrats, and we agree and we respect the right of people to dissent in the state. With respect to Engineer Kayode Ojo, I said it in my speech. I'm offering an olive branch to him. I'm extending my acts of fellowship. And the beauty of APC is that the internal mechanism to handle strains and stresses. Political contestation is normal in a democracy, but party members, committed party members, will also subject themselves to party structures. And I'm sure that apart from me personally reaching out to him, the party at both state and the national level will reach out to him. And I know that he's a party man, and he will abide by the decision of the party. It will be resolved. It's a family issue. It's a storm in a team cup. People are just trying to blow it out of proportion. It's not a big deal.
Cup. Okay, hopefully Kayode Ojo will see it as that and reach out to the olive branch that you've extended to him. The governor of Ekiti State, Biodun Oyebanji, joining us tonight on Newsnight.